Good morning. You have reached Miracle Story Monday. This is so exciting to have you. My name's Beth Young. This is set back in February 2020, right before the pandemic hit. I was in the hospital. I had started to lose my limbs due to septic shock, and I was in very ill health. They were giving me hyperbaric treatments, and I went into my hyperbaric treatment that day, and I was not doing well. I couldn't breathe well. The hyperbaric treatment is like putting you under 30 feet under the water to help oxygenate your body. And so when I came out, my husband was worried about me. I wasn't breathing well, and the doctors never checked me. So that whole day I was suffering, trying to breathe. He would count with me because I started hyperventilating because it was so difficult. And I was in a bad way by the evening. I was just struggling. I was just so miserable. I finally asked the nurse's aide, please give me something to sleep. And so my husband was wanting me to sleep too because I was just all day long suffering. And the nurse gave me something, and 2 hours later, I was still not asleep. I was still having trouble, and so I asked for something more. I don't know if they don't monitor that kind of stuff, but they gave me too much apparently, or I was just so ill taking that kind of drug that was not going to do well with my system. After she gave me that second dose, the nurse came in to check me. It was probably midnight, and Larry was watching her, and she was just checking the ear monitor, because usually they put this monitor for your oxygen level on your fingers, which I had fingers at the time, but they were blue and they were getting very stiff. And so they had to use my ear. She pulled that off and cleaned it, thinking that maybe something was, on there not giving the reading. And so then she clipped it back on my ear, and he watched her as she went completely pale, just dropped everything and ran out of the room. Well, unbeknownst to Larry, I was unconscious basically. I wasn't breathing at all. They had code blue. They had called code blue, and so just soon after, that entire room was just flooded with nurses and doctors, and they were just telling Larry right before they rushed me out of the room, don't be surprised if she's not back on the ventilator. And he was just in shock. He didn't know what to think. One of the doctors got a clue and decided to check me for the flu that was going around the hospital. And of course, I tested positive for the flu. My lungs were filled with fluid, and I wasn't breathing well. And so that's why I was hyperventilating. I was so ill anyway. My heart rate, my kidneys and everything, I was in dialysis. They weren't working properly, so it really affected me. And they started treating me for the flu, thankfully. And my husband said in the morning when he got up there, I wasn't on the ventilator, and he was so relieved. And all I had was oxygen. And so they had treated me correctly, thankfully, finally, and started giving me that Tamiflu, whatever, to shorten the duration of the flu. And it started working very quickly. But I want to tell you that I know that the Holy Spirit had prompted that woman to come and check on me, else I would not be here. I was just barely breathing. In fact, she couldn't even get an oxygen level reading. And so once again, God saved me from death. And that is just incredible, because in the morning time, everything was bright and light in the room. I was back in the ICU and only on oxygen, but God saved me from another perilous situation. I'm so grateful to Him. I'm so grateful to God for saving me, for Jesus, for atoning for me. It's just incredible how we don't even know the things that are happening to us. That's why we have to trust, ladies and gentlemen. We need to trust Him with everything we have, because I was out of control of that situation, and He saved my life. If you're in a situation where you're afraid, you're scared that something might happen to you, don't be afraid, please, because God is there. He is with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. That is my story. That is my testimony. I love you. Thanks for joining me on my Miracle Story Monday. I love you all. God bless you.